Arguing for the end of adult marijuana prohibition is easy because we have facts, science, reason, compassion, evidence, truth, and logic on our side. It is even easier when researchers catalog it all for us. Learn how to gather the facts on marijuana use, arrests, seizures, rehabs, drug tests, and more in this edition of Drug War Data Mining. All right, welcome back, everyone. 22 and a half after the hour, and in today's Drug War Data Mining, a quick look at a report that has come out from the, Oklahoma State University Department of Agricultural Economics. It's a report entitled The Foods Demand Survey, and it's dated from January 16th, 2015. Interesting survey, mostly on people's willingness to pay money and how much food expenditure they've had for typical grocery items, steak, chicken, hamburger, pork chops, those kind of things. Their willingness to pay, weekly income, consumer expectations, food issues, and so forth. But buried in this report on page 4 are something that they call ad hoc questions. 3 just kind of other types of questions they wanted to ask folks. And this one is very interesting. The first question asks, do you support or oppose the following government policies? And they list a whole bunch of these. And let me put these on the screen for you because it's quite interesting what got approved of here. In this Oklahoma State University report, they asked people whether or not they would support a mandatory country of origin label for meat. That got 86%. Should there be a requirement that school lunches contain 2 servings of fruit and vegetables? 84% support that. Should there be mandatory labels on foods produced with genetic engineering? 82% support. Mandatory labels on foods containing DNA? 80%. Mandatory calorie labels on restaurant menus? 69%. Mandatory calorie limits for school lunches? 64%. So some interesting data there on people's attitudes towards some sorts of food issues, labeling and so forth. But where it gets interesting to those of us in marijuana reform is on the questions regarding marijuana, raw unpasteurized milk, and food products made with transfats. These were 3 questions, 3 classes of items that the Oklahoma State University researchers asked about as to whether or not Americans would support a ban on those items. Now, when it came to a ban on the sale of marijuana, 46.55% support a ban on marijuana sales, folks. This isn't a question that's asking just whether or not marijuana ought to be legal or whether or not we shouldn't lock people up for using marijuana. This is 53% of Americans saying there shouldn't be a ban on the sale of marijuana. That's remarkable. Now, for those other items that we're talking about, should there be a ban on the sale of foods made with trans fats? 55% supported that. 55.6%. Almost 10% greater support for banning trans fats than banning marijuana sales. And when it came to raw unpasteurized milk, 59% support a ban on raw unpasteurized milk. That's right. More people would ban raw milk and trans fats in America than the sales of marijuana. And if that doesn't show how far we've come in public perception, where people now find marijuana is safer than alcohol, tobacco, and even sugar, I don't know what else does. Now, stay tuned. We've got this great video. This comes to you courtesy of Hempcrete, which we'll talk about next.
Hi, we created a little animation. This will demonstrate the use of hempcrete in the floor, wall and ceiling cavities. A formwork is installed. The hempcrete is placed, and after drying, the floor can be laid. The frame that carries the roof loads is fitted with services such as phone, power and water. To create the wall, we use recycled plastic formwork that easily assembles. The hempwood, lime, binder and water are mixed and placed into the formwork surrounding the load-bearing frame. With good organisation and the right equipment, the installation of hempcrete is fast and economical. Formwork can be removed in hours. The hempcrete will set within a few days. Like the floor, the lightweight ceiling insulation will be installed. Here we show magnesium board as a formwork. Roof cladding is installed as usual. The hempcrete walls need to be dry prior to application of renders. This takes approximately 2 months. The exterior wall surface will be rendered with a lime render. The interior can be left as a natural finish. Lime washes or lime and clay renders. Hempcrete regulates humidity. This is why only breathable finishes can be used. Once the rendering is completed, the electrics and plumbing can be finished. The house is now ready to be enjoyed!